Welcome on in to the NY to MD podcast with your masked up hosts, Kevin Hurt, Brian Sherrard. What up, B?
What's going on, man? Trying to stay socially distanced, man.
Well, listen, gotta be safe. You don't know what you're breathing out there.
Yeah.
So, football, you got your football Ravens mask on.
Yep.
So hopefully they'll be coming back soon. And then I got my baseball.
I love that orange, man.
As you know, that's one thing we have in common. We do like a certain color orange. You like your Orioles orange, or like my Mets orange, which happens to be the New York State colors, by the way.
Oh. So those are the New York State colors?
Yes, blue and orange.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. That's why the Knicks and us have those colors. And the other teams, of course, the Rangers are blue and red. They're mostly blue, red, and white. And but they do have blue in there. And then there's other teams that I don't care about.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, good morning, Doc.
Morning.
So we have a lot to cover, including our faces, it seems like. But I'm going to go ahead and take this down so that I could breathe in, talk, and speak properly. But yeah, we have a lot to cover this week, as everything seems to be coming back, or in some cases, some things seem to be closing. Right, Florida, right, Texas. So we would definitely talk about those things. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Of course, we're here live thanks to StreamYard. And also, we're live on YouTube, so subscribe to NYMD Podcast on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe to us. We're also on your Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker apps. Wherever you need and want your podcast, you will find NYMD Podcast. And also, we're on your IG, your Facebook, your Twitter. Everywhere social media is the NYMD Podcast. So we thank you guys for joining us. Right. So yeah, man, we got a whole bunch today, and I think we should start off with the main story of this week and kind of go into, I guess, lighter subjects after that.
Yeah, we're both on the same page because that's exactly where I wanted to start today. And we didn't really touch on it too much last week. We didn't touch on it at all.
No, well, it kind of came out after the show.
It came out after the show, but there was still a lot of things building up.
Yes.
To what happened. So, basically, first of all, a couple months ago, I couldn't have told you who Bubba Wallace was, and that's what we're about to talk about. We're going to talk about Bubba Wallace.
At least you didn't call him Bubba Watson, so I appreciate that.
Bubba Watson, though. This isn't golf. And I'm not going to call him Bubba Gump either. So
please don't. Please don't.
I'm good. But no, man, Bubba Wallace, man, NASCAR driver. I believe he is the only African American NASCAR driver.
Yes, he is. He's the only black NASCAR driver on the circuit.
And there were reports came out. NASCAR came out and said that I believe the race was at Talladega.
Yes, Talladega Super Speedway in Alabama.
Right. And there was a report that came out that there was a noose found in his garage. NASCAR immediately took action, said they were going to investigate the situation because they believed it to be a hate crime. The FBI got involved. The FBI did a quick investigation, and they came out and stated that it was not a hate crime. It was in fact a noose. Okay.
Let's build up to that point. We didn't see or know anything. They did say it was a noose, right? and that it's been there since October of 2019.
Right. According to video evidence, it had been there. Now, here's the thing that was a little confusing when the story came out, because when you first hear about a noose, I'm thinking, dag, somebody put a rope in the garage and tied it up like a noose. Wow. But then we come to find out it was actually a garage door pull, which is pretty standard in those garages.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. But what is not standard?
Well, hold on. So after the FBI did that investigation, we then found out that NASCAR is going to do its own investigation. So even to get more thorough of an investigation. So that made me wonder, what did they really, because at this point we just heard about it, right? That the FBI came in, did their due diligence. This has been here, wasn't directed towards Bubba, so on and so forth. But NASCAR said they're going to continue theirs. And I was like, so the FBI did there. I thought, like, you know, in usual layman's terms, when the FBI comes in, does their stuff and leaves, that's usually it, right? That's what I was thinking. Like, you're okay. FBI did that, then that's basically the end of the story. And in my head, I wasn't picturing, you know, a noose. Maybe it was fashioned in some way. You know, I wasn't picturing anything that was what they said it was. You get what I'm saying? Because it didn't seem like, because the alarm was so high, and I actually applaud NASCAR for coming out so strongly about it.
Oh, and real quick, let's talk about what the response was after this report. What the response was from the NASCAR drivers.
Oh, first of all, wow, they've been sticking by, especially Jimmy Johnson. They've been sticking by Bubba since the beginning, even with the whole Confederate flag thing. And they've been by his side. So as a symbol, which was an emotional thing, they walked with Bubba in the car. They walked his car from his spot, which was like 13th or something, that he qualified for. And all the NASCAR drivers and all of basically everybody there took his car and walked and pushed his car to the front of the line. That's something that you have never seen. You know, not to mention there's actually a lot of Black people at the track. Now, they did allow a certain amount of people there.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Okay. And there was a lot of Black Lives Matter t-shirts and stuff there supporting him. But they symbolically walked his car up to the front, and he was very emotional about it. And it was a huge thing. All the drivers, everybody, the crews and everything that was there. And there's a big photo about it, you know, basically came out saying that, you know, we had his back. So that was, you know, that got me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I will say, and we'll get back and talk about this a little bit more in a second. I will say NASCAR's response to all this, the banning of the Confederate flag, the swift investigation into Bubba Wallace, you know, they're trying to become more inclusive, and it's working, because you know what? I might watch a couple more races. You know what? I might follow Bubba Wallace a little bit more now. You know what I mean?
I'm waiting for my Bubba Wallace hat to get here.
Yeah. Yeah. So. And this is and that's the whole point, right? You don't want to exclude people. You know, I understand you've had this a certain demographic for a while, but why not bring people in?
Well, in doing so, let's also talk about the reaction of the first NASCAR race without the Confederate flag allowed to be there. Okay. Someone did pay for a plane to fly over Talladega with a Confederate flag and a sign that said "Defund NASCAR." And also the people who were outside, there's a lot of Confederate flags on the outside. They wouldn't let them in, but there are a lot of Confederate flags of people flying outside of Talladega Speedway. So let's not forget that as well. So a lot of vitriol towards NASCAR in general, and people, you know, showing their you know, colors, so to speak. Without using another term that I felt like using right then and there. Yeah. But people doing that. Now, did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah. So again, and this is why when NASCAR came out, when they found there was a noose and they did the investigation. And by the way, when they did the investigation, they checked every one of their speedways. They checked every garage. They went to every track that they do races at. There were 12 of them, I believe, that were tied up in some way. That had like a knot in them. only one was a noose. And only that one happened to be Bubba's, which happened to be back in October. However it was, just happened to be his, and it just happened to be there. And people, when the FBI came out their investigation on Facebook and on my Facebook page, everywhere, they were overreacting. Their fan base blasted them. They were, like they felt targeted or something, which was weird because they found a noose in a black driver's, garage, but they felt targeted.
Right.
I'm a tad bit confused by that, so I'm about to go crazy in a second.
But why is it an overreaction?
Because of how strongly the wording of "we will seek out and whoever did this to one of our drivers will be banned for life." It was very strong language. I mean, like wording from NASCAR. Like, we won't tolerate this. We're going to ban whoever it is, blah, 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 blah.
And that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Right.
But there's a certain amount of their fan base, as we know, as the people who flew the plane over, pay for the plane to fly over, just like they did in Burnley in the EPL, in the English Premier League. Someone paid for a plane to fly over that Burnley match that said all lives matter. There are people out there who want to be negative, who want this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. And the way that they handled it with very strong language is perfect. And the president came out and said, maybe I shouldn't have said, all whatever language he used to encompass whatever. But he said we reacted the way they acted. And to defend what he said, they showed a picture of it. Did you see the picture, Brian?
Yes.
Tell me what the hell it looked like.
That was a freaking noose.
It looked like
no questions about it. I hadn't seen the pictures, right? But I read the actual FBI statement. In their statement, they called it a noose. There's no times. There's no
four times.
What?
4 times in their statement they mentioned the word noose.
Right. So there's no question about it. So I didn't realize all those garages, only 11 had garage pulls. I didn't realize it was only 11.
I said 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I said that, and only one was a noose.
Right. And it was definitely a noose. And,
it happened to be in the only black driver's garage.
Right. Right. So was it someone assigned? Because they say they randomly assign the garages to drivers, whatever.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
So was it randomly assigned? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was unintentional, but someone did intentionally tie that rope into a noose.
Yeah. So
either way, it's racist. So
I don't care what they were doing. There's so many ways to tie a knot, right? So now again, we know how NASCAR is part of the whole Good Old Boys network for a time, and they're in Alabama. Oh, it could have been something somebody did when they were bored. They're like, hey, I'm just going to make a noose. Like, it's all fun because people down there do that sort of thing. And they decided to leave it in the garage. And this time it happened to come on the boat. However, or whatever it was, that never should have even been made. That's the whole problem.
Exactly.
Why was that even something that just crossed your mind to make? Knowing what it stands for and what the meaning behind it is. That's my whole issue.
Right.
Honestly, you know what I'm saying? I know even if it wasn't my whole thing, even if it wasn't Bubba's, if any other driver got it,
right?
Any other white, even if a white driver, why is that there? And Bubba didn't even see it. His crew saw it,
right,
and reported it,
right.
But you check every garage, and this just I mean, come on now. So the way go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say they didn't even want to tell Bubba at first.
No,
because they
probably due to all the news.
Yeah, but he said because I saw an interview with him. He said his crew didn't even want to tell him because they knew it would be a distraction.
Yeah,
he found out by the president of NASCAR after his crew reported it. So here's why I'm upset, because we've talked about this. You're upset about this thing.
I'm going to make you even more upset. You ready?
All right.
So I just was looking at my phone, minding my business.
Okay.
So let me find out his name, because I definitely want to put his name out there. Come on, why is this never? Nothing ever works when you want it to work for some reason.
especially doing a live stream on a podcast.
Exactly. Mike Fulp, owner of 311 Motor Speedway in Stokes County, North Carolina,
Okay.
is selling for $9.99 Bubba rope. Buy your Bubba rope today for $9.99 each. They come with a lifetime warranty and work great. He has received major backlash on social media and even from North Carolina's governor's office. So, of course, someone took this opportunity and thought it was funny. So, yeah, Mike Fulp, owner of 311 Motor Speedway in Stokes County. He was on social media. If you want to find him, which I'm going to do after the show, tell him what you think. Because I'm going to tell him what I think. So, go ahead, Brian.
You go ahead, man. I
This is a joke. The thing that kills me is that other people were offended at how strongly they came out to defend someone. That's what irks me the most. Like, how are you offended by how strong they came out to defend one of their drivers and his background or who he is as a person? How are you offended by that? How is anything unfounded? It was an actual noose. It wasn't a drawing. It wasn't a little flimsy. It was a real rope. It was a real rope fashioned as a noose. What do you not understand? And also, it's in Alabama. It's not like it was in a state that never did some sort of thing.
Right, right.
So give me a freaking break.
Right. How are you offended? How are you offended, but you don't expect Bubba to be offended or his crew to be offended?
But you're hurt by the word. Why are you hurt by the words? Because is that the sort of thing that you're okay with? That's my whole thing. Why are you? I was so angry. Of course, I posted it on Facebook. And one person, who's a NASCAR fan who grew up in New York, who I went to school with, posted on there just like, oh, it was unfounded, and the FBI came back. It's like, I know I posted that on another. When I found out about it, I posted that they said it's been there or whatever. But that was also before the picture. So when they put the picture out, I put that picture back out. I'm like, what do y'all have to say now?
Right.
What do you have to say? Like, literally,
right.
Just think about it. If I'm walking through whatever, one of your neighbor's garages go up and it's a noose. Who needs to tie no one needs to tie anything that way, period. Unless you want to try to send a message to somebody.
Right.
Period.
No need for it.
There's so many other ways to do something. That's not one of them. So they're offended. They're offended. You know what? In all honesty, you can go to NASCAR without worrying about a Confederate flag. Why does that upset you so much? Why do you have to fly a plane over here with some, participation trophy flag?
Right. Here's what I don't understand. Since you brought the flag back up, how is it disrespectful to the flag to kneel in quiet, peaceful protest, but yet it's not disrespectful to the flag to fly the Confederate flag? When that flag stands everything against America. They wanted to secede from the freaking country. They want to separate. How does that not dishonor the American flag?
Because that's heritage, Brian. There's always semantics when it comes to them.
It's always
semantics.
A heritage of racism. It's a heritage of separation.
Think about it. As a kid, we all watched that TV show with the car named after General Lee.
Right.
That we used to sit here and root for, and then want Boss Hogg or Sheriff Roscoe Pico train to catch him. We always want Bo and Luke to get back to Uncle Jesse's and make sure everything's okay.
Sliding over the hood,
get in the car, no windows. I probably had that. That was probably a Hot Wheels car, and I probably had it as a kid.
I know I had it.
Because as a kid, you're not thinking anything. And back then, it was like, whatever. It's not like, again, I don't like to talk. They teach a lot of Black history in any sort of history books here. Right. So you're offended because of this garbage trash flag that's supposedly part of your heritage that you can carry any place else that you want, basically. except for this one place, and you're offended. It's like these are the same people who are complaining about masks. I feel like they're all the same people.
Yeah.
You know, oh, you're taking our freedom away. Freedom of what? You could tweet what you want, obviously. You could drive somewhere. You could even put that, believe me, the Trump truck that drives down the street here from where I live has a Confederate flag on a sticker on the back of it. He's free to express whatever he wants to. Right. You can still do that. Not like I agree with it, but you can still do that. You just can't sit there like you have to wear a mask when you go everywhere. You just can't carry that flag into one place. Just get over it.
Yeah.
Get over it and get past it. It's just, you know, again, these are the same people who had issues with Kaepernick, and everything's disrespect when it comes to how they feel about something. Again, this is coming from, and again, I supported it. This is a guy, me, who has an issue with Orioles fans saying, "Oh," during the national anthem.
Right.
But I supported Kaepernick because I understood where he was coming from. But I get offended. You see my face when we used to go to Oriole games. Like, it irks me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, like, why this is the national anthem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like, don't disrespect the national anthem. It gets to me. But I get over it. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I understand what Colin's standing for.
Yeah.
And I don't, but his message is, and plus it's peaceful. He's not out there. He didn't burn a flag in the middle of the stadium. He's not sitting there wearing it around his waist or something. You get what I'm saying? There's so many ways that people have really actually disrespected the flag. And that's not one of them. No. And it never has been. But that other piece of, again, like with Mississippi, they still, part of their flag has that little thing in the upper right-hand corner of their flag.
Right. So
the NCAA and SEC, you're not going to play any games there. Why is it still there? It's 20.
Yep.
You know, the best player from Mississippi State said, I can't represent this school if that's going to be there. The two coaches now, Lane Kiffin and the guy from Washington State, Leach, Mike Leach, who are head coaches of Mississippi State, both went to the State House for them to come. It's 2020. Why is that still even in a flag? They lost. They lost. They got their butt whooped. They lost the war. Wow, that's part of our heritage. The hell it is. That's crap. And that thing should have been gone a long time ago. And we just let it go. Just like all these Confederate flags, all these schools at the I think I was talking to Dan, who grew up in Florida. He went to Jefferson Davis.
Please don't tell me that they have a school named after Jefferson Davis.
After Jefferson Davis. Dude, what do you mean? You know there's Robert E. Lee schools everywhere, right? Heck, didn't we have a Robert E. Lee park down the street here? It was a dog park, I believe, right? I believe it was a Robert E. Lee dog park here in the northern state of Maryland.
You know what?
And there's just Confederate things everywhere. But my whole thing is, what did they do? They build these losers, literal losers, up as something, and they weren't anything. And there's statues. Why? I don't understand this. Where other places there statues of losers?
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? How come there's not statues of, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman? Those should be statues. The whole thing just gets me I know I'm getting riled up, but I honestly don't care at this point. That doesn't make sense to me. It's never made sense to me. But because we grew up in this, you kind of accept it. But then as you get older, you realize this ain't right. And we have a right as we get older to change our minds, like I did with Washington. I don't want that day. Believe me, people have been badgering me about that for years, like decades.
Right.
And I'm like, in my heart of hearts, I believe that's not meant to blah, 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 blah. But then we went through the original owner of the team who was racist. So,
and let's talk about that for a second. Didn't they just remove one of the owners, a statue of one of the owners?
Not only did they remove, DC, who also voted for statehood, but that's a whole different thing. And DC don't do it. the Parks and Recs took his name off of RFK Stadium.
Okay.
But in addition to that, Daniel Snyder has decided to take his name out of the Ring of Honor that they have there at the stadium. So his name's coming out of there as well.
Good.
But in that also, why don't you just go ahead and change the name while you're at it?
Yep. And as far as changing the name goes, you shared something with me, which I think is awesome.
From a fake Twitter account, which was really a good idea, though.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think you got something or a notification from a fake account from
Arnie Shefty or something. Yeah.
But they were going to change their name to the Washington Redhawks.
Dude, I'm all for it.
Dude, I think that's a great name.
If I woke up tomorrow and everybody, the New York Giants will face the Washington Redhawks, I'm down. Not only am I down, I would be geared up.
Yes.
And geared out.
First of all,
the
name is way better than the Redskins, first of all.
Well, no, wait. What name isn't better than that besides Cowboy? Yeah.
But it's just a cool name. You could do a lot with it. The color scheme, it still's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah, we're still burgundy and gold. Yep.
The context of history.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, you must have wrote that down first before you put it out there. That's good. Proud of you, Doc.
People who don't know or understand or who don't want to understand as well. And that's a big problem as well.
But again, history is supposed to be taught by the victors.
Exactly.
Not the freaking losers.
Right.
Or that's what they say. But this is how, I mean, again, I was watching the thing on ESPN, not going away from the Red Hawks topic real quick, because again, that would be a banging name. I was watching a thing it was a 30 for 30 about Mandela and South Africa. And we all know the apartheid and the violence, and he was in jail for 27 years, all that stuff. And how he came out and embraced South Africa and embraced the, both sides. We need to do this peacefully. We need to sit there and as Trevor Noah would say and other people, they went through a whole transition where they had to sit down and really talk it out. I mean, they had people who used to go out in the street and beat on people, and they would be faced with the actual victims, and they had to, and they would talk it out. Like, I was in the street, you may not know of me, but you beat me with a club, and he's like, I don't know you, but I apologize. Like, they literally, I mean, talk about wounds open again. You get what I'm saying? Because in order to heal, you have to get the infection out. And sometimes you got to dig real deep to get the infection out. People aren't willing to do that here yet. They still want that. They want the scar tissue just to come in and not have to dig deep and really feel the pain. Like all the stuff that even we as Black Americans, sometimes we have to find our own happy place. You get what I'm saying? But we know our history. We know Tulsa. We know all the other places that massacres and stuff that happens today between George and Ahmaud and Breonna, they just arrested one guy. What was it, March? It's a whole systematic issue that starts just from above and comes all the way down. And it does start with the name of Washington. And think about it. The guy was a racist owner. You think he cared about Native Americans? I mean, I know they were the Boston Redskins. Were there really tribes up there that were like, hey, we're cool with that name? No. Then he moved down south because probably too many Black people up north. And then he was the southernmost team in DC. And he was like, all right, this is what we're going to be. And we're not going to integrate. So every other teams, you got to remember, Chicago Bears, Chicago, New York Giants, Detroit, all the original team, Green Bay, all those teams were northern. And they started getting Black players. It's like Black college players either went to HBCUs or they went to schools in the north. There was no Black players at Alabama for a long time, or Auburn, or Florida, or Georgia. They had to go to Michigan States, Michigans, those Ohio states, those northern schools, they were allowed to go. And this was just like in the 50s, 60s. This was not that long ago. I know as time goes on, we're in 2020, things get further and further away, but it's with 10 years of our lifetimes. That's not that long ago. And we're still battling this stuff today. So yeah, change the freaking name of the team, please. It's past time. And in my heart of hearts, I'm not sitting here, but I don't know. The thing is, I know how I felt when I loved the team that much, that I felt like that name was never representation or whatever, but it doesn't matter what I think.
Right.
If someone is offended by it, change the freaking name. My high school, we were the Nyack Indians. There's actually a Nyack tribe. Oh, he wasn't arrested? He was only fired. He was only fired. So he's not even arrested. He just lost his job 3 months later. And we were paying, basically, and the taxpayers of Kentucky were paying for it. Because I'm sure he got paid while he was on leave. I mean, every day there's a new case that comes up. But I don't want to get into all that. That's
all right. Well, you mentioned, Hurt, that you said it's past time. And you're right, it is past time. And that brings us to our next topic. America's pastime. Baseball is back, Hurt. Finally, after long last, it's back.
You okay? Why are you clapping?
Because baseball's back.
Okay.
But I could care less.
Okay. I was like, wait a second. You're way too happy right now. There's got to be a catch to it. And voila.
Dude, I don't care. First of all, this is a joke. This is a joke because baseball is only playing 60 games. 60 games, Hurt. We're not even talking about half a season. We're talking about barely more than a third of the season. Barely.
Okay, so 21 more games would have been half a season, right?
Yes.
Would that have made you feel better?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it would, to me, this is not a legitimate baseball season. It's not legit. 60 games is not, what's that, a high school season? College? I mean, 60 games.
If I played that many games in high school, dude.
I mean, 60 games is nothing. Dude, if this were a 60-game season last year, the Nationals wouldn't even make the playoffs.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? Like, you cannot tell anything baseball-wise from a 60-game season. And the fact that they're going to have to crown the champion in this mess after playing 60 games of baseball is a joke. Look, it's good that we're getting sports back. Baseball's coming back July 23rd or July 24th. Basketball's coming back July 31st. Good. We're trying to get back to some normalcy. We're trying to get some sports, which is fine. But this baseball thing, man, they wasted all this time. Still couldn't really agree to anything, but they wasted all this time haggling over money, and I still think it's going to affect them. I don't like the fact that we're going to have these hokey things.
Hokey? Like what?
Yeah, like the extra inning rules where we have
a runner on second,
which is I cannot stand that. I can't stand that. You'll like this one, Hurt. We're getting the universal DH.
Okay, but I agree with that. The only reason because I need to pitch for this short season, 60 games. I need the pitchers to pitch. I don't need DeGrom getting up there trying to bunt or trying to do. I really don't. Like, because again, we're getting a shorter spring training. We're not boring you here, are we? Yeah.
I know, man. I don't know.
It's late for you.
I'm boring myself over here with MLB. Maybe it's baseball. Maybe it's baseball that's boring.
Yeah, that's what it is,
man. No, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no. I'm fine with the universal DH. I think there could have been a better way to come up with extra innings, then a runner on second. Maybe start with, I don't know, a different count. Like a 2-1 count. Just something than just a runner on second. Even though that runner will not count towards anybody's ERA or anything of that, or for pitchers and stuff like that. We're all in abbreviated season for everything. The NBA schedule, the new NBA release schedule for this upcoming rest of the season came out last night. We're in a whole different world right now, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with this. I'm honestly fine with the 60 games. My issue was you could have
60 games.
I'm fine with 60 games.
But the problem is, this could have been avoided, man.
Well,
this could have been avoided. This is the end of June. They finally come up with an agreement. Well, not even really an agreement. They had the whole
biggest problem
to figure this thing out.
Yeah, they could have agreed to 60 games 2 months ago.
Yeah, I mean,
then we would have looked forward to it. We could have discussed it. Everybody would have been okay. But now it's just like, oh, money, blah, 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 back and forth. And people are just like, I'm tired at this point. No one wants to keep track of it anymore. And that's on them. But I love, again, we both love baseball.
Love baseball. It's my favorite sport.
So I feel like this is going to be like college. Not college baseball, but just like
you explain it to me because I don't know how the college game works. So
well, not college baseball, but just like a college field. Because, like you said, if this happened last year, the Nats wouldn't even have made it. They wouldn't have been done because it's not a whole season. Okay, fine. But it's a race now. It is a race. You have to come out the gates hot. And we all know there's certain teams that come out hot. And by the way, there was a message that I was supposed to give to you, which I'll give to you now, from someone, one of the fans of the show, said because there's 60 games, the Orioles usually start the season off well. They have a chance to make the playoffs.
No, they don't.
That's what Dan told me to say. He's like, hey, 2 months, Orioles come out hot. Usually.
Okay. So since we're talking about this, the Orioles had to play the AL East and the NL East.
Oh, we get to play each other.
Red Sox, Tampa, Nationals, the Mets, the Braves. Come on, man. The Orioles are winning 10 games this year.
We're not going 10-50.
The Orioles are going 10-50, dude.
They're not going 10-50. But what's wrong? But the thing is, they play their division anyway.
My bad. 15-45.
15-45.
They will not win more than 15 games. Listen to this.
They're going
not win more than 15 games this year.
They're going to be 25-35. Watch.
No freaking way. The Orioles are winning.
They're going to come out hot. Chris Davis is going to go on. He's going to be. All he can do is DH now.
What's your birthday?
Huh?
What's your birthday?
Why?
It's on the 10th?
Maybe.
Yeah. That's how many games the Orioles are winning this year.
10?
Yeah. I'm telling you. That's it. They're going 10-50.
You don't believe. You have to believe in the orange, Ryan. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
I believe in my Mets. My Mets are going to go 35-25.
Yeah, and DeGrom will win like 15. DeGrom
will win the majority of those games.
Just pitch him every third day.
ERA of 0.001.
We'll pitch him every fourth day.
At least he won't have to bat. You don't have to worry about. But we don't have Thor, so we still got to go through that whole season. But just believe. Believe.
But you know what? The crazy thing is, if DeGrom wins 15 games this year, he'll have more wins than he did the year he won the Cy Young.
Yeah, the last 2 times.
Yeah.
Which could happen. So I'm fine with that.
Dude, think about it. If I'm the Mets, I'm pitching DeGrom every 4th game.
No, I'm not doing that. No, because of his arm.
Season.
I get that. But you're also coming into the season, you're not trying to.
I'm joking.
Yeah, especially there's no Syndergaard. So you know.
But you know what? My bad. He'll pitch every 5th day.
Yeah. Okay?
He'll win about 10 games, and then he'll come out the bullpen some games and get wins, vulture up some wins.
Yeah, vulture up some. However way we do it, if we can make the playoffs, I'm going to be excited. This is my issue as a fan who watches the sport. There are a lot of games. There really are. I love the sport, but my interest comes mostly when we're playing somebody like we play the Orioles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I care about every game when we play the Nats, but if it's on TV, see you watch.
Don't say it, please.
You watch. No. Just for this season, I'm just happy that they're here.
Okay, but you know Wait a minute, you're not one of these baseball fans that complain that the season's too long. Please
No,
don't tell me.
no.
Okay, all right, good.
This is gonna be, but this is again. This is an anomaly.
All
This
right.
is an anomaly. I want 162. I'm
All
always
right.
162. I'm a 162 guy. Okay, that's a baseball season. That's always should be a baseball season.
All right, good.
Yeah, no.
You
But
scared me there, man.
no. But meaning though, if I miss 100 of those games, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Like this, that's all I'm saying. Like if I miss 100 and see 62, I'm okay. So this is going to be on. I feel like I want to pay attention to it a little bit more because that's all I got. Like it's a concentrated amount.
So are you saying you're going to be more you're going to pay attention more to baseball because of the shortened season?
Yeah, because it's different. It's just
Okay.
something different. Because around this time, it'd be 2 weeks from now, it'll be like this All-Star game. It'll be All-Star break. Then we'll just see where we are. I love going to games. Going to games is way better for me than watching them on TV.
Oh,
I'd rather be
going to games are
going to Camden Yards is a billion times better than watching it. But it's
because it's different than all the other sports. Well, maybe other than soccer, because in baseball there's a lot going on off screen that you can't see that you get to see in person.
Yes, it's just the ambiance. It's just everything.
Yeah.
But it's just a whole. It's different. Again, this is a different season. Only asterisk I want is if Houston asterisks win anything, or if someone hits 400, because that shouldn't happen.
Dude, you know what? I never thought about that, yo. If the asterisks win again,
yeah, that would be crazy.
They really could in this shortened season, man.
Yeah, but I mean, so could it. But that's my whole thing. So could anybody. I'm not saying like the lowliest teams are gonna do great, but this could be a season where the Oakland A's could actually win it all. And how awesome would that? Oh my! If they actually won, me and you would be on here just talking about them for like 2 shows. That's all I'm saying. I would talk about every player. We would talk about the general manager. We would just have a whole show dedicated to that.
Man, I will say this. I know one team that's glad that there's going to be a season.
Who's that?
The Dodgers, man, because, man, Mookie, man, just think about that. If they, with that Mookie Betts trade, if they weren't able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams have good. Yankees have good team.
I'm just about the fact that they didn't give up prospects for nothing.
Yeah, no, I got you. Well, they would have had him for next season. Just it would have been.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Just this year.
Do they? He's on the contract just for this year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
That's weird. Okay. Well, that's a whole different story then. All right. Well, anyway, I'm rooting for them not to win. So honestly, I don't care. Whatever. I'm fine with.
Well, you know what, I must be in a minority because I'm looking at an article right now via ESPN that that the fans support the 60-game season. In a poll, 77% of respondents to the poll said they show support. 23 opposed it. Of all sports fans, 73 supported it, and only 27 opposed the plan. So,
well, of course, because you're always in a minority when it comes to polls, anyway. But it's just never won any of them. But
they're rigged, man. They're rigged.
It's just real life. Just gotta get over. Because honestly, it takes you time to get over to the right side. That's all it is. Because
on my side is the right side. They're just rigged.
No, not ever. But we're gonna be there. We're happy. They're gonna be hopefully playing soon, even though they may not be in the bubble like the NBA players.
I'm not gonna lie. When I went on my Instagram and I saw when the news broke and the Orioles posted, "We're back," and they showed Chris Davis hitting home runs and then I was like, it is going to be kind of good to see the Orioles back, but I'm not excited. But the closer it gets to opening day, maybe my enthusiasm will go up a little bit.
Or even just seeing them out there playing. Right, just the whole fun of it. It would just be fun to go see it.
Yeah,
not go see it, but to see it on TV, to see it back.
Now, do we know if baseball has a plan as far as what stadiums they're playing in?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I know, yeah, there's too many things going on. I know Florida is a hotbed again due to them reopening way too fast. Not sure why that happened.
Yeah, like I said, I've done a 360 on this one. If I were an athlete, I ain't trying to go to Florida right now, man.
Yeah, well, but that listen, it's a hotbed. But there's only what 2 teams in Florida anyway. I mean, the Yankees or Mets can actually probably at this point save for New York.
Yeah.
But also, are the teams going to travel? I'm not sure. There's so much stuff going on in the world. I honestly haven't sat down and looked at what the plan is. Are they going to travel? Or they want to do a spring training thing? Or what are they trying to do? So I haven't even seen all that yet. Even the NBA is still working itself out, honestly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, every league is still kind of just going through the steps to see what they want to do to make sure it's safe for everybody. Or as safe as possible.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at something, man. Clemson football, 14 more positive tests, 37 total.
Yep.
Good Lord, man.
And I think a lot of people are taking things for granted too, because again, these are young kids, but they have a higher probability of being becoming healthy again.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? But it's still here. People still here in Maryland, we're still taking precautions. Still so many people in stores, still, as we all know, wearing masks. That's why I was like, at least make it fun. Support your team and do whatever you need to do, but you still need to have it on. So it's going to be hard, and football is going to be the toughest thing.
Right. And the problem is too, a couple problems, even though, if you're younger, you have a high propensity to, recover from it, but there's still that chance. This is a crazy virus where it affects people in different ways, and you just never know. Yeah. And you just don't want to spread it to someone else. So
exactly. And that's the biggest thing, because you see how easily it can be spread.
Right. So, but we'll see. I guess we'll, as next month will really be interesting, to see how these
July's the month. I mean, July is always the month, obviously, but it's really going to be, everything's coming back in July.
Yeah.
So we got to see training camps for NFL. Excuse me. Getting all choked up here. MLS is starting their little tournament. The WNSL, Women's Soccer League, starting their tournament. Who else we got? NBA, everybody. Well, it's the Premier League again, has already come back, and they have crowned a champion in Liverpool. So congratulations, for the first time in 30 years and first time ever for the Premier League. Liverpool is champion.
I just can't wait, man, to put that asterisk next to LeBron's championship, man. Oh, I can't wait.
Speaking of LeBron, since he's a part owner of Liverpool, good transition.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, he tweeted out champions. He's very excited. So it could be a whole championship summer for LeBron.
Hey.
That would be great. I mean, you know what? I don't support the soccer side that he supports. Matter of fact, I don't support any team that he likes. I just
he likes the Yankees
and the Cowboys. Like, this is
wow.
Yeah, that's like probably the worst combination you could be to me. Like, or in like a Miami or Florida Gators fan. Just all those things all rolled up into one. But luckily, he would have went to Ohio State if he went to college. So. But listen, there's going to be no asterisks for LeBron. I still think they're not even going to win it. Like, they did lose Avery Bradley, who's staying home because he does have a child who is susceptible, and he's got to remain healthy. And, of course, the great news out of that is that the leading candidate to be signed to replace him is J.R. Smith. How awesome is that?
Ooh, Mr. No timeout
and no shirt.
How does he always stick around? It's funny how these guys just always stick around.
Dude, I don't know. He's always around. He's always shirtless and running around thinking it was they had the lead in the game. So
crazy.
But that would be J.R. Smith in a Lakers jersey would actually be fun to watch.
So look, I won't put an asterisk around LeBron's championship, but can I put one next to the Yankees championship?
They're not winning it.
Okay.
Don't say that out loud. Don't try to bring something that we both would not want to happen. I don't want the Yankees I know you don't hate the Dodgers as much as I do.
No, I don't hate the Dodgers at all.
I don't. I listen. There's 4 teams I don't want to win anything. Right? The Dodgers, Phillies, Yankees, Red Sox.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. 5 Braves.
Oh yeah, the Braves.
Yeah. Oh, 6 Cubs. So yeah, all those teams. 7 Cardinals. So yeah, all those teams.
Anything else?
No, I think I know 8 Marlins.
The Nationals.
I don't hate them.
See, how do you? I hate it. It's funny. I have more of a hatred to the Nationals.
Well, because you're angry over the freaking television deal.
And yeah, I'm angry over Masson. I'm angry over the television broadcasters.
Yeah.
I'm angry at the fact that they have a team that we allowed them to have a team, and they pretty much want to ruin our franchise. But yeah, I cannot stand the Nationals. Can't stand them. I hate them. Did I mention that I hate them?
I think you just said that you hate the Nationals.
Okay, all right.
I'm not sure where that came from, but that's what you said. But I don't have, again, they're not. We've had some rivalries with them, but as a Mets fan, Phillies, Braves, a billion times, Yankees, a billion times higher than, and Dodgers for that matter, have precedents of hatred over the Nats. You know, and again, the Marlins are this team that just come out of nowhere every 15 years or so after they decide to pay free agents. I don't even include them. But yeah, but definitely not Philly. So we'll see. But I mean, it's going to be fun. Sports coming back is going to be fun. So we'll definitely see. You know what I just thought about though? Next week's show would be the 4th of July.
Yep, 4th of July. Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Hey, look, we are the podcast of holidays. You know, last week we did a Father's Day show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Next week we're doing a 4th of July show.
Exactly.
So, you know, even though baseball couldn't be there for you to kick off their season,
should. Can you imagine if you actually
that would have been how perfect would that have been?
Yeah, would you have been okay if it was 60 games and they started the 4th of July?
No, but no. But what's more American than baseball? You know, fireworks,
the hot dog eating contest,
right? 4th of July, that would have been perfect.
Which, by the way, I don't think they're still gonna have, but they're gonna be 6 feet apart. I don't think they're gonna have fans there because they usually have it at Coney Island in New York, and they actually, and it's a limited field, so we get to see Joey Chestnut 6 feet apart from other competitors.
Foot longs. 6 feet apart, so they have to eventually be 6 hot dogs apart.
Yeah, exactly. Basically 6 hot dogs apart. No spectators there for the mustard belt.
Oh man, that's got to be weird. Are y'all going to go to see? Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Oh yeah, I did that out of order.
Yeah.
Are y'all gonna go see or do any fire? No. First of all, who wants to get their hand blown off? I ain't trying to Pierre Paul nobody.
Yeah, I don't do fireworks.
No, don't do fireworks. And I'll watch them on TV.
Dude, I've been hearing every night.
Yeah, people out buying fireworks. Yes,
but every night someone's doing fireworks in my neighborhood.
One thing about reading these before you send them, Doc. That's all I'm saying. Just read them before you send them. Okay, just read them before you send them. I mean, they wear plastic over, you know, the judges and people putting the hot dogs up there. They're protected. They can wear masks. It's a tradition. We got to have the hot dog, even though it's not going to be a New York Marathon this year either. But I mean, it is what it is. But guess what? At least we had the podcast.
Yeah.
So to lighten everything up, do we have anything fun that we were talking about besides my hatred of Frosted Flakes with marshmallows that I saw, or chocolate tricks?
Chocolate tricks.
Chocolate tricks.
That's too funny.
Oh, you know what I bought today, by the way?
What's that?
Frosted Flake Fruit Loops.
Wait a minute. What?
Frosted Flake Fruit Loops.
No.
Yes.
What?
Yes. They call it a mashup. I did it as a joke because she loves Frosted Flakes. I love Fruit Loops. So I saw it. I was like, and honestly, I was at Walmart. I stared at it for 3 minutes because I'm like, am I looking at the right thing? So there's actually flakes and Fruit Loops in there together.
The only thing that's missing is, why don't they do a mashup of like Frosted Flakes and oatmeal? You know what I mean? Like, that would be really cool. That way I could eat it right out the box.
If anybody who's on here, did anyone see him eat oatmeal last week, like dry oatmeal from the packet.
I said I was going to do it, so
I think you need to do it again.
no, no, I'm not doing it again.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't get it.
And the cool thing is, you forgot about it.
I did. I totally didn't know. Go back and rewatch the show from last week, please. Again, we're on again, it's on YouTube. You subscribe to us. Last week's show, Father's Day. This dude, straight from the packet, eating oatmeal. Because we were talking about that was at the beginning of the show, right?
It was right at the beginning. So.
Yeah, so at the end, we're just talking about how much I hate all these hybrid cereals and these Fruit Loops with marshmallows and chocolate. Who wants chocolate tricks? Why would you have chocolate tricks?
All right.
No, it's not. Some things don't need to be invented or made. Chocolate tricks is one of them. It's really just like the 95 different types of Cheerios that I was getting to.
That's crazy.
Blueberry, strawberry, vanilla berry, whatever berry. What if they did that to your oatmeal? What if they besmirched the name oatmeal and had 95 types of oatmeal?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, by the way, guess what I saw today that you hate, but you love all at the same time?
Don't. Okay, so some type of cereal or some type of product where they merged peanut butter and jelly together.
No, God, that's not it. No.
I don't know.
Well, they have that spread. They have that spread, which is.
I would never do that.
No, that's
no. They go together, but they shouldn't be packaged together.
No, there's a lot of things that go together that should never be together. You're not going to sit here and sell a hot dog and a bun together at the same time.
Wait a minute, Doc. I've never heard of this. Gremlins? What?
All right, wait. Before we get into the Gremlins, we'll get back to that. So the product that I'm talking about, you hate that there's so many different flavors of what?
Oh, Cheerios.
Oh no, I hate the Cheerios.
I hate Cheerios in general.
Yeah, but you were disgusted with the many different varieties of Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts, yeah.
Yes. So I saw SpongeBob Pop-Tarts today.
Hey, Krabby Patty.
They were called Seaberry or something.
Seaberry?
Seaberry.
Oh, they should have just called Krabby Patty Pop-Tarts.
Now, would you have gotten? Well, if it was Krabby Patty, they probably would have put Pop-Tarts with Obey in them.
Dude, let me tell you something.
Which you probably would actually try.
Look.
It would be a big seller here in Maryland, by the way.
My degree's in marketing, and I can easily be marketed. So
easily be marketed.
So I get products based on how they're marketed. Dude, if you come out with a SpongeBob Pop-Tart, I'm there. That's like hurt. If you put the Dharma Initiative symbol on a Pop-Tart, I'm buying it.
Well, first of all, I'm buying it too. Anything that has to do with Dharma.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got me.
Yeah.
Look, but you got me. So, dude, there's a SpongeBob Pop-Tart. I will be looking for that the next time I go to the store.
Yeah, you have to. But if there was a lost anything, if there was a lost cereal,
just slap a Dharma logo on anything, and I'm
done. Yeah. Have the swan on there. Anyway, just as long as Michael's not involved, I'm fine. They had like Anna Lucia Crunch. I'm there. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Smoke Monster. MASH or something.
Exactly.
Polar Bear.
You're mixing Pop-Tarts and SpongeBob. How can that be bad? How could you go wrong?
Because you can.
No, I will be looking. Thanks, Hurt.
I'm surprised you're not offended by it. You're not a big fan of all the Pop-Tarts.
I'm not, but I'm a big fan of SpongeBob, and I'm a big fan of Pop-Tarts. And
obviously of Rick and Morty as well, which I've never seen an episode of in my life.
Yeah, I'm a new Rick and Morty fan. That show's absolutely crazy.
So we are actually perfectly at the hour mark. Next week, of course, is going to be the Independence Day version of the show.
Yep.
We're going to try to have a little bit more fun, hopefully, and not start yelling. But if we have to, we will.
We're going to talk about things we want independence from. Now, let me see.
Yeah, I know, right? Dude, that'd be a 4-hour show. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, I still don't remember Gremlin cereal, but I'll Google it. But you know what? Nobody ever remembers the vanilla cookie crisp.
Oh, you know what?
So.
Maybe like Gremlin cereal had like little gremlin eggs in them, and then when you put the milk in it, they turned into, they turned from Gizmo to Stripe. Yeah.
By the way, Stripe was way better than Gizmo. Sorry.
Or maybe if you ate gremlin cereal after midnight, you would turn into one. Wasn't that one of the rules? Wasn't that one of the rules?
Yeah. Midnight turn into because they got wet. So maybe you put one piece of cereal in the milk, it would multiply, right? Right? But then if you ate it after midnight, you yourself would turn into a gremlin.
Yes.
Which would be, I don't know. That might be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Be very angry though. They're very angry little gremlins. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Of course, we're here on YouTube. You subscribe to us, NYMD Podcast. We're also on Facebook, IG, and of course the Twitter. You can find us on our Facebook page and also on our IG page, NYMD Podcast. And of course, wherever you find your podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Hold on, and let's put this last one up here before we get yelled at. It was Little Gizmos and tasted horrible. Why wouldn't I? I'm sure Gizmo would have tasted horrible. Seriously. And they were green. They had green blood. It was just not a good thing.
Yeah.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Everywhere you find podcasts, you will find the NYMD Podcast. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Black Lives Matter, and we will see you next week.
Peace out, y'all.